coming up on the Outside of Sunday podcast.
I live in Pattaya. It is the sex tourism capital of the world.
Yeah.
It's like, it's hell on earth. When we do outreach, we go directly into these brothels. We sit down. Most of the women in these places, they have a number. As I say, that number, she's who I want. And then she said, why are you guys come every week, but you never want to pay for anything else? Like you never want to take me and do bad things to me. Why? And I said, I want you to know that you're worth more than what any man can pay for you.
Hey, you're listening to the Outside of Sunday podcast. I'm Christa, and here you'll find genuine conversations and inspiring testimonies, as well as biblical encouragement on how to live your faith in and outside of Sunday. Welcome everyone to the first live podcast recording for Outside of Sunday. I'm Christa, and I'm here with Dianna, all the way from Thailand, the founder of Free Reign International. Thank you so much, and welcome, Dianna.
Oh, I'm so honored to be here. This is so incredible.
This is amazing, and thank you everyone who is sitting in this room with us today. I think that is just incredible, and I'm so blessed for each and every one of you, so thank you. But we're going to be getting straight into it, so get ready. We're going to start with the basics, and then I want to hear some stories. Sure. So let's start with, what is Free Reign International?
Free Reign International is a nonprofit organization. We're actually started in America. And then from there, we've gone to different countries and started up small branches. And Free Reign is the umbrella organization. And under it, we have many different programs that are for education and for equipping people to be able to be in the fight against trafficking. Our very first project was Sheer Love, which is my baby. And this was our very first vocational program, educational program that we started for survivors that are coming out of the sex industry. And from there, we've started a sewing program. We also have, in conjunction with the beauty program, we have a barbering program. And we've been able to create partners in different countries. Our slogan, actually, our tagline for Free Reign is educate survivors and equip fighters. And so it's really, really our desire to be able to, really our passion to be able to get others involved who are able to get into the fight against trafficking. And we have online video trainings. We do in-person trainings all around the world. And it's something that's really, really important to us, that people know that they might think they might not have something to offer, but they do. Everyone does have something to offer, and you can get out there and help for sure. So that's Free Reign, the umbrella, and then all of our programs. Yeah.
Amazing. So when did you first kind of see a need for there to be Share Love, for there to be Free Reign?
Well, actually, my very first trip, 15 years ago this year, my very first trip was to Kenya. And I went out there with my home church back in America. It's called Crossroads Church. And I went out there, and I mean, it's devastation on a level that truly you cannot fathom until you go and see it. You just can't. And there's of the 5 poorest slums, impoverished slums in the world, 4 of them are in Kenya. Wow. That's crazy that 4 of them are in this one place. So I went there with my church, and we did, we walked through, we did home visits, we did food baskets. It was great. But as we're walking back towards the foundation that we're partnered with there, I saw a little tiny green shack, and it said hair salon on the side. It was so cute. And I was like, hair salon? I'm a hairstystylist. Oh my gosh, I got to see what's going on here. So of course, immediately I just popped my head inside, like I own the place. And I was like, this is amazing. And there was like hair products and tools and hair extensions and all these things. And I was like, this is amazing. Oh my goodness. I want to meet the lady who works here. I want to meet the woman who owns this place. And I'm asking all kinds of questions. And ultimately, I really wanted to know, like, where are these women going to school? Where are they training? Like, what's all this? And this, the guy who I was with, he said, if women from this area tried to go to a beauty school outside of this area, they'd be laughed at. They would never. They'd be ridiculed. It would be a terrible situation. So no, this is generational education that has happened. Yeah. And so it starts, so the mom knows how to braid hair. She teaches her daughter. Her daughter teaches her daughter, and it's a cycle, and it just keeps going, and that's what helps sustain the family. And so I sat there, and I was like, well, I want to help these ladies. I want them to have more education. I want them to have all the resources they need in order to find success. And so that's when I was actually in a car where I was driving someplace with our director, the director of my missions organization at my church. Her name is Lisa. And then we were in a car with a woman named Mary, and Mary's the founder of the organization in Kenya. And so we're in the car and we're going, and we told Mary, Lisa and I told Mary, hey, we've fundraised a lot more money than we needed for this trip. We have a surplus of money. I mean, that's amazing. And so we tell her, we're like, okay, what do you need? Is there something you need? Is there something you want? Is there something that we can add to? More homes, more schools, school uniforms, like whatever it could possibly be. And she said, just like with a sigh of just heaviness, just weight on her. And she said, for 5 years, we've been wanting to start a beauty school.
Wow.
For 5 years. And we have a room. We have the room ready, but we don't have the resources. We don't have the funds. We don't have the person to help teach. We don't have any of this, but that's truly what our dream has been for years now. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And I say,
who am I?
Yeah, right.
Who's in front of you?
She had no idea.
Yeah. Wow.
And so I'm telling Lisa, of course, this is when I was still living back in America. So I did her hair. Whenever I go home, I do her hair. And I said, Lisa, did you know about this? And she says, no, did you know about this? And we're going back and forth.
Wow.
And I said, hi, I'm a hairstylist and I can help you do this. And she says, Dianna, you did not tell me you were a hairstylist. I said, well, you didn't tell me you wanted a beauty school. So let's go. And that was the first one, and it just went off the ground. And honestly, every single school from there has literally just fallen in our laps.
Wow.
Yeah, but Kenya was the first one. So Africa is a very, very special place in my heart for sure.
Wow, that's incredible. It's like you said, she didn't know, you didn't know, God knew.
God
Isn't it
knew.
just amazing how he just can just connect those dots in just
Absolutely.
an incredible way.
I know. And there's, I feel like so often we think like, I might not have something to offer. Like, I mean, and you just think, oh, whatever, no big deal. And you just like leave it. But when you speak the words, this is something that I dream. This is something that I've been envisioning. And you just start putting it out there and holy moly, will you see it grow. You will absolutely see it grow.
Well, because you're connecting with what is something so close to God's heart as well.
Yes.
I mean, we were so blessed to have you in church this morning, and you talked about, this, what is it? Yeah, the Sermon on the Mount.
Yeah.
Blessed are
the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It is.
I would really like to know how it is that you actually, you're established now, and that's incredible. But how do you find the people to be part of the programs? How do you connect? Do you just go up to somebody and say, hey, do you want to be part of a beauty school? How do you do it?
Kind of. Kind of. Well, because when we go out and do outreach, I live in Pattaya, and it is considered the trafficking capital of the world. It is the sex tourism capital of the world.
Yeah.
It's awful. It's like, it's hell on earth. It's really bad. And so when we do outreach, we go directly into these brothels. We sit down. Wow. I order a water, and I sit down, and then I choose because most of the women in these places, they have a number, and they
have a number.
Yeah.
So you say, I want number
17, number 64, whatever it is. I say that number. She's who I want. And
can I just take a second? So you're doing this obviously in an outreach capacity, but if you were a man who was looking for what they're looking for when they're in that place,
that's what they do.
They're reduced down to a number.
They're reduced down to a number. I mean, it's like cattle. It's it's just so awful. It dehumanizes them so much to the point where I think the buyer can justify what he's doing, and I really, really think that that's what they do. As soon as they know a person's name, that humanizes them. That makes them, that gives them identity.
Yeah.
That number removes all of their identity. And that's what they're reduced to, just that, like just a barcode, just whatever it is. And same when we sit with these girls, there's been so many times where we go and they'll give you a receipt and the girl is on the receipt with her price on there because I paid for a drink for her to sit with me.
Oh, I see.
So yeah.
So you're asking her to come and sit with you, but you're paying for her.
I'm paying for her,
her
yes.
time.
So, yes, right. So
she's, sorry, wait a minute. So
I know.
it goes like water,
yes.
Coca-Cola, whatever, number 17. Wow, that's just insane.
Yeah. And then so she'll come over and this is okay. If I was a customer, if I was a man who was actually paying for sex, I would walk in, choose number 12. She'd sit down with me. I say, and okay, I want a beer. I want this, whatever. And she is the server for him, his server, but she's also like tending to him and making sure she's okay. And then eventually at the end of that, they close the deal with, this is what I want to pay to sleep with you for tonight.
Wow.
And so, but I don't do that. So I walk in there, I sit with them for 45 minutes to an hour. I'll sit with them and speak with them with all of our outreach team. This is how we all do it. And by the end of it, I'll say, usually, actually really not by the end of it, more towards the beginning, I'll say, do you want to be here? Do you enjoy working here? Do you want to be here? And they look at me and they're like, and then they look behind them. Oh. They look behind them to make sure that no one can hear them. But they say, oh, I don't want to be here. They just shake their heads and they say, no. Or sometimes they'll go, yeah, it's fine.
Who's listening?
Yeah. And you just know that they don't mean it. And I tell them, we have a program. We have a program that we can help you. If you don't want to be here, we can teach you how to do hair. We can teach you how to knit, sew, crochet, all of this. And if you don't want to do either of those two things, we're partnered with an organization down the street that does baking, barista, and culinary arts.
Wow.
We're partnered with another organization over here that does hospitality training. So we have options for them. We have a lot of, I wish we had more. I wish we had a million more options for them, but we do have something that we're able to say, if you want to get out, you can. We'll pay you a living wage. We're not going to pay you, we're going to make sure that you actually can support your family with this. And we're going to help you get out and we're going to give you an education while doing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can I just ask, how does the owner of that establishment, because you're poaching their workers.
We are.
I mean,
purposely.
I know. Yes. And I'm like, I'm all for that. I'm like, yes, poach away.
Yes.
But how do you handle that? Do they kick you out? Do they start recognizing you and then they say you can't come in anymore?
I was just kicked out of a bar last week. So yes, it definitely does happen. Not often though, I'll say. And again, it is the sex tourism capital of the world. I mean, I think there's maybe, it's a city. I mean, there's about 200,000 people that live in Pattaya. About 50 to 75,000 per day are for sale. That's, So what is that, 40% are sold every night, night in the red light district. But when I go, so that's the thing. There's 60% of the city is brothels. I could go into a different bar every day of the year and never go to the same one twice.
Okay.
There's that many, right?
Wow.
So I'm very, you might not think so now, but when I'm there, I'm very low profile. When I go through, I just act like a dumb tourist. I'm great at it. It's awesome. Oh my gosh, this is great. This is so much fun. Wait, where are we? What are we doing? I'm pretty good at it, honestly.
I think the American accent, though, I think that totally sells it. Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, and I'm from Los Angeles, so of course that's where the Kardashians are from. So I'm really, really good at it. But yes, I was just kicked out of 4 bars last week.
Describe this. I want to hear. Yes. How do you get kicked out of a bar in Pattaya?
So there is, just like the church has a network, right? And I love, and I'll say from church this morning, the pastor shared about the pastoral network that's within the town, the community of pastors. So incredible.
Yeah.
Well, the mafia also has a network. Traffickers and pimps also have a network.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
And so what happens is they start to tell each other, hey, someone came in. I don't think that they're here for what we want them to be here for. So check them out. Make sure this is, and they take photos of us and videos of us as we go into bars, go into brothels, and they say, this is who to look for. And we got kicked out of 4 bars. Last week was Thai Mother's Day. It was wonderful. It's such a fun holiday to celebrate moms. And so we actually go and we handed out We handed out 1,300 bags, tote bags. It was really cute. And inside they had like a face mask, a sheet mask. They had a cookie. What's our partner organization? They're called Tamar Center, and they do baking. So they had their survivors make 1,300 cookies to be able to give. Just incredible. And so there's a lot of things that that we put in this bag as gifts for them. So when we went in and we're handing all these bags to them, because they're mostly mothers.
That's what I was going to say. Like,
yes,
these young women, they're not just.
No, they're moms too. Yeah. I mean, a lot of them are teenagers and are moms. Some of them have multiple kids, you know, and we go in and we say, you know, in Thai, Happy Mother's Day. Are you a mom? Almost all of them said yes. And we hand them this bag, and the inside actually was a kid's book. Written in Thai. It's a beautiful, beautiful kids book, and it's encouraging and heartwarming. And we open that up for them, and we're like, this is something that when you see your child next, you can read this with them. And that was the best part, truly, of the whole time. Watching these moms open these books, like it's a gift for my child, you know, and. Yeah. So anyway, there was 4 bars on one street, all owned by the same guy. So there was 2 right next to each other. We walk in, and immediately the security guard, with the, right? And they're like, no, get out, no. And he's like swatting us away.
Wow.
Because either our organization or our friends at Tamar have gone into that bar many, many times.
Yeah.
And so they see us, they know what they're there for, and they're like, stay away from our girls, don't. And then they're yelling at the girls too, don't you dare take anything from them. You are not allowed to take anything. And the girls are in fear. So of course we're like, oh geez, like what do we, you know, like we don't want to put them in any kind of danger. So when that happens, we just walk out. We're not going to put up a fight. We're not going to put up, it's like again, 60% of the city is all bars and brothels. We can find another one for sure. But that's the thing too. When that's going on, that's something that we can then turn to our other friends who are rescuers. They're the ones who are the investigators and the detectives who do reconnaissance work to be able to find out where the real danger is. And so we've been able to work a lot with the FBI and different things to be able to get out women who are in very, very unsafe situations in bars. And so, but those are the ones where they're getting really angry. That's when we know, okay, there's something bigger going on here.
So is that when you would kind of get the rescuers, as you said?
Yeah, because I'm a hairstylist. I'm not rescuing anybody.
No.
No. I'll give you highlights. I'm not going to.
That's right.
I'm not.
I suppose
you're right. You need highlights? I'll do that.
Bleach in the eye.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
So that's what I was just going to kind of clarify for people who are listening. You know, we're all here listening to it, but there's also going to be people who are listening
Sure.
at a later date online. You guys don't go and rescue people, but you provide a way for them to be rescued kind of themselves by
Correct. Yeah. Because, and the vast majority of the women, which is kind of shocking to a lot of people too, they're in their 20s and 30s. They're not like little kids locked in cages. I mean, that does happen, but the ones that were out, I mean, we can literally just walk up to them in the street. Like we don't have to go through barricades to find these. I mean, there's that many women for sale. There's that many women who are in need of help and support. So yeah, when we go in, we just walk straight up to them. But yes, but there's that many that's what we're doing. And I walk straight in.
And I suppose you say like they are just walking in and out freely. They are going to the shop freely, but there's a different kind of slavery that's happening there. These invisible chains, if you would, that are keeping them in that life. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. There's psychological chains that are the hardest to break. An actual chain would be easier to break than the mental and psychological chains that they have upon them. Yeah. And the very first girl that we helped get out of the bars, her name is Rain, Free Rain. That's why we named it after her. She's the very first girl that we got out and the very first girl that we enrolled into Sheer Love. At any point, she's the first girl for our very first student. And I met her with my co-founder, Kaylee. And we went in and we saw her and we were like, yep, That's the one. We sat down with her. I got my drink, my little Sprite, and she got her drink, and we sat there and we just talked for an hour and we laughed hysterically. We had the absolute best time. A lot of it was through Google Translate. She did speak English very well, but Google Translate. We just had the absolute best time. Found out she had a daughter, and she was sending money home every week, for her daughter to be able to be cared for. Over the course of 4 months, we were going every single week to see her every week. And over that time, we found out she was sent to Pattaya by her mother when she was 15 years old. Wow. She ended up in this specific bar. They call it a bar. And again, they call it a bar to like actually dehumanize what it actually is, which is a brothel.
Yeah.
But they want to dumb it down so it doesn't make it look so bad. But there's a bar on the bottom, and then there's 3, 4, 5 stories up. That's a brothel.
Wow.
And so, we're sitting there with Rain, and she's sharing all of this information with us. And then she said, why are you guys come every week, but you never want to pay for anything else? Like, you never want to take me and do bad things to me. Why? And I said, well, because I'm starting a beauty school here. This is what we're doing. And I want to provide you with that opportunity. I said, I want you to know that you're worth more than what any man can pay for you. You are worth more than any of that. And, we can teach you how to do hair, how to do makeup, how to color, highlight, anything that you want to do. We can teach it all to you, and we can help you. We can help you get a job somewhere after. We can help you set up a business if you want. And she really was just like, wait a minute, I could get out of here. It took us more than 6 months to convince her to actually leave.
Wow.
It took her 6 months. Because what happened is she was 15 years old when she went. She was locked in a room until she was 18.
Really?
Yes, because she's underage. No one can see. If you see her on the street and she's underage, then they get in trouble with the police. So they kept her upstairs. They would send, if a customer wanted a younger girl, they would send them up, and she'd be in the room already. When she turned 18, they said, okay, we're going to let you sit down in the bar. We're going to let you go down there, and you can lure men now that you're technically an adult. If you run, we're going to go, and we're going to get your mom, and we're going to get your sister, and they're going to replace you.
Wow.
That's very real. And for her to have endured 3 years of rape, 3 years of physical violence, for them to, and she's like, this is my chance. I can get out. That's my chance. No, this is my chance to save my sister and my mom from this. And so that is all she needed to say, I'll never leave.
Yeah.
That is all she needed. So by the time we got to her, it took her 6 months to finally say, okay, I want help. I'm really scared, but I want help. We were able to get, again, one of our other rescue partners involved. She's safe, her mom is safe, and her sister's safe.
That's what I was going to say is like, how can you protect their family? Like, how would that work? Because here, she might get free, but that threat is still lingering.
Oh, of course. In her mind too, she's thinking, what about them? We have to move them. They go to a different village. We move their home. Wow. That's basically what we need to do in order that these girls stay safe. A lot of what happens too is that, like when she went down to Pattaya originally, like a debt was taken out on her. So she was like collateral for the money that her family needed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So she wasn't just sent by her mom to work and send money back. She was sent as like, I'll give you my daughter, you give me this much money.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. Really, really. And as a like 15.
Yeah.
Like, how old are you? You guys right here, how old are you guys?
I'm 15.
Yeah. So no, no. You're going to stay right here, and we're going to we're going to eat snacks, and we're going to have a great old time. Yeah. No. You're going to stay right here. But this is the thing too. This is also families out of sheer desperation. They don't know where their next meal is coming from, and there's a mom who says, "My daughter's strong and she can do it, and and she's gonna provide for the family." And it's that is so much pressure. Kids have enough pressure these days.
Yeah,
you put that kind of pressure on a girl. Oh my goodness! But I've met girls who are 15 years old who are taking care of entire villages of people.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
entire villages of people because they were like, she's the one that's going to go and make it happen. She's going to take care of us.
Wow.
And it's always the girl. It's always the girl. Now, when there is no girl and there's only boys in the family, that's when it's a boy. So that's why in Thailand, we see the majority of the people down there are women, women and girls. But there is, roughly 30% are men.
Who look like girls.
Well, who look like girls, yes. There's both. Men who are just men, and then also men who are transitioning. And a lot of them, honestly, are being transitioned by their families.
Oh.
It's really, really, it's really, really sad. And so, but the usually, I'd say honestly, 99% of the time, if you see a man or transgender is what we would say.
Well, that's only been a really recent term.
Yes,
and
yes.
the ladyboys, I suppose, was
yes.
the word. That's been around for a very long time, way before this whole transgender thing was so public. But so that was what would happen with the boys. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And so when we see men, boys, or lady boys in the red light district, we know it's because they only had boys in the family. They don't have, there's no sisters.
Wow.
So they had to send someone to go and care for the family. And so they're like, well, we got to pick a boy. We got to pick which one's going to go since we have no girls.
It's going to be you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I kind of had a thought in my head that it was generational, like the mum had paid her dues or whatever and then she'd send her daughter. But no, it's more, we're going to nominate you on behalf of our family.
It's primarily the oldest.
Wow.
It's the oldest girl that goes. Yeah.
You do not want to be the firstborn.
No, you don't. But even then, in many places in Cambodia, they'll congratulate you and say, wow, this is good luck from Buddha because you had a girl.
Wow.
And she's going to feed your family forever.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through, the recovery? Well, is it recovery? No. The education?
Sure, yeah.
So you, like you said with Rain, you met her, you managed to get her to trust you enough to be able to leave that life. What does life look like for her as she goes through your program?
So when she came out, I remember we had breakfast together on Christmas morning. It was wonderful. And she finally told me that she was going to come. I'm like, best Christmas present ever. This is the greatest.
So great.
So good. So she comes out. We help her find a new place to live. And we help all of the people coming through our program. We find a new apartment, a place that's outside of the red light district where they're able to be safe. And so, so we provide we provide that as well. And then they start our program. And like first day is orientation. We take them in and they learn all about their tools. They have a contract. We have a contract that they sign. And then we take them to a clinic to get tested for all sexually transmitted diseases. And I will say it's terrifying for them. All of them are terrified. They live very much in a culture in a way that it's like, no, if you just like, boom, sweep it under, it's not there. Close the blinds. It's gone. No one needs to see. But it's like, but we're trying to tell them like, no, truth is important. Truth matters. And we need to know if you have HIV. We need to know, you need to know if you have any kind of STDs. You need to know this information for yourself to get yourself healthy. And so we do. First day, we take them in to get tested. And it's a scary thing, but it's great. And we do it. Majority come out with something. Majority come out with, and it's usually a disease that's treatable. Sometimes it's not, unfortunately, but we're able to get them on the medication that they need to that day. And they get to start that. I mean, that's a physical recovery that they get to start right away. Then we have health classes. First week of school, it's health classes. We learn about their bodies. A lot of these women have been to like maybe 2 or 3 years of school when they were little, and that's it. So they don't know about their body. They don't know how things are connected and how things. We had a 45-year-old woman come through our program. She had children. She had no idea that her menstrual cycle was connected to pregnancy.
What?
I sat in shock.
Wow.
But if no one tells you,
no,
you don't know.
You're just like, what is this evil thing that happens to my body once a month? What is it?
Exactly. My goodness. But yes. So
imagine thinking, how would she know if anyone, like, would she think she was the only one? Like, I don't know.
I know.
I would be like, what's wrong with me?
Yes.
I'm dying. Yeah.
Exactly, right? Mm-hmm. And so this 45 years old and had kids and had no idea. And I said, did you notice that you didn't have a period for 9 months?
Yeah.
But she said no, because she spotted throughout. So she really didn't, and even then, like, I think towards the very end, she didn't have anything, but she really had to remember. And she said, oh, did I or didn't I? She goes, at the beginning, I still did. I didn't know. And honestly, it wasn't until her stomach started growing that she was like, I'm just getting fat. I don't know what's going on. I mean, it just absolute insanity. So we do health class and we teach them, this is what happens. And this is what happened once a month for a woman. Yeah. This is how all this happens. And it's a really, really just eye-opening week for all of them, really. And then after the first week, all of their hair training starts. They start with basics like foundational styling, blow drying, just regular braiding, just really, really simple. And while that's happening, we also have our life skills training. So every single day in the morning, they have Bible, budgeting, personal development, social work. They actually meet with a counselor and they're able to start working through all of this. Incredible. We provide counseling for all of our students. Yep. Yes. And so that all happens in the morning. Then we have a huge, gigantic, long lunch because everybody in the developing world needs to have like a 5-hour lunch. That's just how it goes. But in the afternoon after lunch, we have, and then they start their vocational training. And then that's when they are doing all of their hair and sewing, knitting, crochet, barbering, all that stuff. So morning is all life skills. And then afternoon is all vocational. And our school lasts a full year. And so when we very first started our barber program, it was just 6 months. But we really recognize the necessity and the value because I'm sorry, let me just go backwards. In barbering, I mean, you're learning haircutting, grooming. It's not, it's not as extensive as a full cosmetology program. Learning hair, color, makeup, perms, facials, all of it. And so, but we ended up recognizing just the need for personal development for the men in the program. And so we've extended theirs to a full year as well. Yeah. So they run congruently.
You mentioned the Bible. Yes. Can we talk about how what you do is partnered with the gospel? It's partnered with Jesus. Can you talk about that, please?
Well, I mean, we're basically a Christian school disguised as a beauty school. That's kind of what
I love that.
Yes.
And also, like, how important is that to the recovery work that you do?
Oh my gosh, it's everything. Like you don't get to have full transformation in your life until you recognize all that got you to this bad place to begin with. And that's the same thing too. Part of the contract is they're not allowed to, I mean, obviously there's no drinking, no drugs, and you cannot go back and try to go work in the bars again. And we actually had a girl say, well, why do you care? What does it matter if I'm still out there hustling? And I say, because you're never going to heal if you're still on the thing that hurt you. You're never going to heal. Yeah. And so it's important that, again, that you know that you're worth more than any other human being can pay for you. You're worth more than that. And we want you to fully heal. We want you to become a brand new person. And again, you're born again. That's what we say when you really accept Jesus into your life, you're born again. Yeah. And in order to be born again, you need to expel that entire life that you had prior. You need to completely let it go and get rid of it. And so when that happens, that's when we see transformation happen. And I'll say, I don't know if you know the 1040 window.
Yes.
Okay. So for those who don't, the 1040 window is the 10 degree and 40 degree latitude. Okay.
I'm not going to say it because I'll probably say it wrong.
Right. Yeah, so it's the 10 and 40 degree latitude lines.
Yes, around the earth.
Yes, around the earth. And it's Asia and it spans across Africa, okay? And in that box right there between 10 and 40 degrees, that is the place where people know Jesus the least. It is the most unreached area of the entire world. Thailand sits in the 1040 window. You know what's also funny? In the 1040 window, there's also the least amount of education, the least amount of food, the least amount of running water, the least amount of natural resources, the most domestic violence, the most human trafficking. Doesn't it make sense that in an area like that where there's no Jesus, that all those things would be most prominent?
Yeah.
Of course it would.
Yeah.
Of course. And so that is why it is so necessary, especially in that area of the world. Everything we need to do needs to be infused with the gospel. If it's not, your work will fall flat. It just won't. It just won't. And it will not work. And so when we press forward and we are teaching the people in our program about who Jesus is, who they were created to be, who they were created by, that is when we see real transformation happen. It just is. And I'll tell you too, our Bible teacher, one of my favorite human beings on all of planet Earth. She was formerly in the bars as well. Her testimony is so insane. It's really bad. Can I share? Okay. it's
Share. We're here for.
You're here for it. Okay.
Yeah, we want to see. Now, we don't want to just hear a story to hear a story.
Right.
I want us to hear a story, to be activated to pray for this woman, to be activated to pray for free reign and what you're doing. So let's keep that in mind as we're hearing.
No,
and I'm already starting to cry, and I'm like, this is why I have the box of tissues.
Right.
If anyone needs one, you can come up here and
pass the
grab.
tissues around.
Yeah, we'll pass it around.
So our Bible teacher, her name is Somjit, and she is absolutely one of my favorite people on planet Earth. Like, and if you knew her, you'd know what. Leanne knows what I mean. Barb knows what I mean. You've all met her. She's truly an angel on earth. She's amazing. Well, she grew up in a village, no education. But so she was 19 years old, and another woman that was in her village said, "Hey, I can come down to Patia and I can help you get a job." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, this is great. This is amazing. I can go. I can finally, get a job and provide." Right. Because that was the thing. Her parents didn't send her. It was a stranger actually that befriended her. And that came in and said, "I'll help you." And seemed to be a very kind woman and helped her. So she came down, she took her down to the beaches, down to the south of Thailand. And so near the beaches, it's in Pattaya, the city that I live. And she said, "Oh, there's places down here. There's markets. There's this, there's it." And so she's, giving her all these things. It's going to be so great. She went down and sold her to a fisherman. And so he then takes her on a tiny little fishing boat, sails out to the middle of the harbor there, to a large fishing boat where there were 6 more men on the boat.
Oh my gosh.
So he sold her virginity to a group of 6 fishermen, and they were going to kill her. They actually were going to turn around and kill her after they gang raped her. They were going to turn around and kill her. One of the men, and she's the whole entire time she's screaming, "Please spare my life. I have a mom and dad. I have a mom and dad. Please help. Don't do this to me." So one of them was like, "Okay, let's not kill her. We'll just put her on the beach back and we'll just threaten her within an inch of her life. But we don't really need to kill her." And so this one guy convinced the rest of this gang of fishermen, and they went and put her on, and they did. They threatened her. They held her by the neck and said, "You better not tell a soul. If you tell a soul, we will come and we will kill you." And then so she was left there, and then sitting on the beach. And she was sitting there. She says it was so traumatic. I just don't even remember how long it was. But not long after they put me on the beach and threatened me, another man walked up to me and offered to pay to have sex with me. And she said, "Well, I might as well. I might as well. I'm damaged and broken and bruised and everything else. I might as well." And so that man paid for her. And then from there, that's when she went straight into a brothel and just said, "Well, I'm worthless anyway now. And I can't tell my parents because my parents will disown me, even though this isn't my fault."
Yeah.
None of this was her fault. But she said, "My family will disown me. I can't do this. But since I'm already damaged goods now, I'll just go out and I will work in the bars and I'll make money, and at least my family will be provided for. They just don't need to know what's happened to me." So for, 20 years maybe, 20 years or so.
20 years.
Yeah. She was sold and she continued to do that, which, okay. And then you look at it from the other side too. Like you look at it, you understand this backstory, but then you see this woman in the bar who seems as though she wants to be there. She's selling herself. I mean, she wants to be there, sure. But what were her choices? If those were her options, what were her choices that led her to this? Because she wasn't being held there. Yeah. She wasn't being held there by any, even psychological chains. Well, psychological chains maybe that she put on herself. But, she wasn't threatened beyond an inch of her life to stay. It was a result of what had happened to her that got her there. So next, she is working in the bars, and it's real. So she ended up, so when they're in there, it's called short time and long time. Have you heard the term "me love you long time"?
Yes.
And it's like people say it and it's cute. Oh, I see. I love you long time. That is actually how the women say to the men. If you that's signaling to them, if you take me for the long haul, I'll take care of you forever. And so I know something so silly and little, you don't, yeah. And so she ended up finding a man, and he took care of her for she took care of him, but he paid her for 6 years. In that 6 years, she ended up getting HIV from him. And so, and then from there, she was just like, oh, well, forget it. I'm really damaged. Like if being gang raped wasn't enough, now I'm on the path to having AIDS. It was awful. So then when she's walking to work one day, she's walking back to the brothel one day, she hears this super loud music somewhere. And she goes like, I really like that. She goes, but it doesn't sound like music from the bar. It doesn't sound like this. I don't think this is so but I really love it. So she literally was following the music. Okay. Wow. Following the music to find out where this was. And every year in Pattaya, we put on a massive Christian music festival. Wow. It's huge. And we invite, there's people literally come from all over the world. So I'm determined to get a team to come from New Zealand to come and be with these women and tell them, because Somjit walked up, she heard that, and one of the volunteers from a ministry said, hi, what are you doing? How come, and she's like, well, I'm actually on my way to work. I'm on my way to a bar to go work. And she said, no, you're not. No, you're not tonight. And so that person who met her, she was a short-term missionary from another organization. And she said, I'll pay for you for the night. So I'm your customer now.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I'm paying for you for the night. And you're going to stay with me at this concert, and we're going to talk, and you're going to enjoy this music. Wow. She bought her dinner, and she did. She ended up staying till midnight, gave her life to Jesus that night. Wow. At this concert where these Christian music artists from literally all over the planet were there. And that was her entryway into knowing who Jesus is. That was her exit from the sex industry. Now she's our Bible teacher.
Wow.
She went to DTS training at YWAM in Thailand. She did discipleship training out there. And now she is our Bible teacher. Who better to teach the Bible than her?
Yeah.
We have guests come, of course. Sometimes I share, and then when people come and visit from other countries or teams come, people will share. But there is no one better to lay down the gospel than a woman who's been exactly where these women have come from. And I'll say, I'm so excited because she's been out now for, I think, 18 years. She's been out of the brothels for 18 years now.
Praise the Lord.
And just a couple weeks ago, we actually filmed her testimony.
Wow.
And she said, because I asked her quite a while ago, and I said, hey, if you ever wanted to film, I'd love to. And she goes, no, I don't want to, because it will dishonor my family. I don't want to shame my parents. I don't want to shame anybody. But I just talked to her last month, and she says, I think it needs to happen now, because I've shared my testimony with so many women in these brothels, and I've seen it change their life. Yeah. She says, but there's not only women who are in this situation in Thailand. There's women in this situation all over the world. And if my testimony can change theirs, I know it can change somebody else's. So I'm ready to share my testimony with my full face so that people know and they can see in my eye. They see my eye and they see I'm serious and I am sincere. How beautiful. I mean,
It's amazing.
so incredible. And this is the woman who's sharing the gospel with our students. Oh my gosh. It absolutely doesn't get better than that. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Wow, we're actually going to have to take our break now. Give you a minute to compose yourself, to have a tissue. We are going to, please have a drink, have something to eat. We are going to do some more question time with Dianna, like I said at the end. But in part 2, after we've had our little break, we're going to actually hear Dianna's testimony. Coming up next week on the Outside of Sunday podcast.
And then after my dad left, we ended up meeting this man at our church. He befriended my mother and was like, you are such an incredible mom. You've done just amazing things. I love that you've just been so strong with your kids. And like, this is amazing, even though your husband's left. He ended up moving into our home because he was having issues with his own family. After he had already moved in, I was about 14. I actually walked in on him molesting my brother.
Hey, thanks again for listening to this episode of the Outsider Sunday podcast. Don't forget we have the Outsider Retreat happening on the 10th to the 11th of October. We would love to have you there. Head to the outsidersunday.com website, go to the events section, register. Don't forget to leave us a comment. If something made you laugh or cry or think a little deeper, please let us know. And as always, sharing is caring, so don't forget to let somebody you know about this podcast. Outside of Sunday is part of the Outsider Network and is made with the help of Inspirational Media.